Hey y'all. We are about to get started really quickly. And golly, y'all already on it. Hey everyone. What's good? Hey Sound Good Beats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all go ahead and pour in. Thank you. So we're gonna get started early because we have a lot to cover. I had several DMs and a few emails that came in from our members that are part of my songwriters VIP club. And so they were like, I'll come by and ask questions. And so I have a feeling it's gonna be interesting evening on live today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're getting work around the fall. It should be officially safe then. Yeah. Yeah, it should be. All right, hey Danny. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, I'm talking about Sound Exchange. And the reason why it's so important that we discuss Sound Exchange is because I really feel that a lot of indie artists who are, number one, the artist performing the song, as well as the copyright holder, because 9 times out of 10 they are putting out their project independently and they own the copyright in the master on the sound recording side. And that's exactly what Sound Exchange pays for. They pay on they pay you and they collect your royalties from non-interactive webcasters and service providers. That includes Pandora, which is also a non-interactive webcaster or non-interactive streaming company. And then they have, of course, like MySpace or YouTube. No, not MySpace or YouTube. YouTube is a microsync royalty. MySpace is also a part of the microsync because of the fact that you can actually interact. So it's not non-interactive, so it wouldn't count. But XM Satellite, my bad. XM Satellite and Pandora would be where you would actually be able to collect royalties from Sound Exchange. They will actually track those and bring them in for you, credit your account with it. And as the copyright holder and as the artist performing it, if you file and register the songs, you will be able to get those royalties. They usually pay direct deposit monthly, but you also have an option, depending on the threshold that you meet, you have the option to get paid every quarter, similar to what BMI and ASCAP does. So it just all depends on what you sign up for. They also pay digital cable television like Music Choice and Muzak, which I think is a part of like Dish Network. But they also distribute those royalties. And like I said, the world of terrestrial radio is so different now. But if you are a songwriter or a music publisher, typically from radio, you would get paid from, BMI or ASCAP. But Sound Exchange will actually pay the artist and they will pay the copyright holder. So that is the difference. If you are an indie artist, again, and you are just joining me, you are putting out your own project. That means you own the masters. And 9 times out of 10, you are the artist performing the songs because it's your project. Then you have the ability to collect Sound Exchange royalties, okay? If you are writing your songs as the artist who is also signed to your label, you can also be getting royalties from ASCAP or BMI, because ASCAP and BMI, and I've talked about this several times, but they actually pay songwriters and producers and music publishers on the songs that were actually released that were composed by you. So you would get the best of both worlds because you'll be getting paid both from Sound Exchange as well as ASCAP or BMI, because you are the songwriter and you are the artist and the copyright holder. So I hope that breaks it down. I know it can kind of get a little confusing at times, but you just always want to remember that the stations that you hear songs streaming on, like those XM satellite radio, and Pandora that you cannot edit the playlist. It's just, you're just going to turn it on, choose your station, and just let it play. Those are called non-interactive stations, streaming companies. And Sound Exchange pays royalties to the copyright holder and the artist that performs the song. If you are on a station, a streaming site like Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, Apple, those are interactive streaming sites, meaning I can go in and create my playlist. I can choose what I want to hear. I can go to different albums and like make, I can and allow it to play, but I still can go back and change and go back to what I want. Those are interactive because I'm working with the actual streaming platform in order to hear what I want to hear. Whereas with Pandora, you just choose your channel and just let it play, and you might get ads depending on if you got a subscription or not. But that's the difference between non-interactive and interactive. And so Sound Exchange pays on the non-interactive royalties that are generated from those non-interactive radio stations or streaming sites. And like I said, BMI, ASCAP, they're gonna pay you too if you are not only the indie artist and the copyright. If you are the songwriter, so you'll be getting paid from BMI or ASCAP if you are the songwriter. But if you are with Sound Exchange, you also will get paid as the copyright holder and the artist performing a song. So that's it. I tried to break it down like 3 times, so I'm hoping y'all get it now. All right, so we are going to jump into questions, and let me see. Okay, now I can see my questions. Last time I was like struggling because I had an actual white shirt on and it just didn't do well. So I'm gonna start with the first question. Would the same apply in the UK? You know what? The UK has they have a performance rights organization called PRS. And then I think they do have another performing rights organization that works for non-interactive stations. I just don't know what it is. I would do your research and find out who that association is, because most likely Sound Exchange, they do collect globally. So they are a part of, a small group of other PROs that are specifically paying copyright holders as well as artists that are performing that are a part of Sound Exchange. They do collect those royalties in different territories. And so I would definitely reach out or either go to their website at soundexchange.com and see if they are connected to collecting from the UK, from overseas, from across the pond. Next question. As a songwriter, should you get a trademark or a patent? And what is the difference between the two? Okay, I'm not an attorney, but I'll tell you what I do know and what I think you should do. As a songwriter, should you get a trademark? If you're going to trademark your song, I think you should get, if you're thinking about trademarking your song, you should think about maybe a lyric that you're trying to trademark and make money from it, if that's the reason why you're trying to trademark. Otherwise, if you're trying to protect your song, you just need to copyright it with the Library of Congress. You can actually watch the video that I did last week where I talk and kind of break down all the different the processes of copywriting with the Library of Congress and your federal registrations and everything. So you can go back and watch it on my YouTube at Tammy Latrell. Just search Tammy Latrell and it'll come up. But trademarking to me is more so when you're trying to actually trademark something so that it can't be used, like a name, like Beyonce, right? She trademarked her daughter's name. I think Kylie or either Kim, they trademarked their children's name as well because they know that they're going to ultimately make money off of those names. Or if you have something like a phrase, I think YOLO, I think Drake was able to eat off of YOLO because it was trademarked. And, he not only was able to profit from it, but obviously it was a song on this project. So I think that's when you should really think about the difference between, am I trying to make profit off of maybe my lyrics, or am I just trying to protect my work? So you probably need to make that determination first. I hope that helps. Does Sound Exchange pay when the music is played in like a Starbucks or something? No, those are performance royalties. So those royalties will come from BMI or ASCAP, which will pay the composer who is the songwriter or the producer of the work. Okay, those are called performance royalties. Cost to join Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is free. The process, it is It gets extensive because of the fact that they have two different sides, for people who are setting up the account as a copyright holder, and for people who are setting up the account as maybe like a licensee, or you are the actual songwriter. And so I would strongly suggest that you go to their site and really look at the options that they have, because you will be able to join as the record label or copyright holder, or you will be able to join as like a member who is trying to collect from maybe a song that is already out. I will say this: if you are a producer, or if you are maybe a featured artist on a song with another artist, and that artist is getting paid from Sound Exchange, you can ask the artist or the label, whoever owns the copyright, to issue you an actual letter of direction. That letter of direction will allow you to then turn in to Sound Exchange to be able to get permission, that they will be granting for you to receive royalties. And I think it's like between 15 and 20%. It may be 12 to 20%, but it can be determined, and you have to upload the letter of direction, as well as a proof of the edited. It's like a spreadsheet, but it's really like their catalog. And so you upload the changed data, and then from there they set you up a direct deposit, and of course you got to fill out your tax forms and all of that. So if you are a featured artist, and you have the ability to ask the artist, like, hey, I wanted to know, will you allow me to get Sound Exchange royalties for my work from featuring on your song? Or if you are a producer and they just want to, cut you in just so you can get money from that, you can also request from that artist as well. But yeah, the process, to get back on that, the process takes time. Sound Exchange is very, very successful in collecting these royalties, but I do believe that sometimes the communication could be a little slow. And so I've had some clients where I'm like working on setting up their accounts for them, and it's taken a couple of weeks just to get a response on particular issues. And then, you gotta, of course, they have a way things should be done, and so they'll provide you with forms if anything is wrong, but then you have to go through it and then, of course, fill it out and then send it back and wait for them to respond to your response. So sometimes it could get a little tedious, but that's why my company is in business, right? So people do reach out to the Mezzo agency to make sure that they are getting paid Sound Exchange royalties, and we help the whole process from setting up their account to making sure that all of their songs are properly registered if they are the producer or the artist, or if it's an indie label, and they're just trying to make sure that that those monies are coming in for the copyrights that they hold. So that's pretty much the process. All right, someone else said, I just got my articles of organization for my record label. Congratulations, you're officially a business owner. Officially, I have a label. Yes, you do. What is the best way to register my publishing company? So, okay, cool. Your publishing company is going to be separate from your record label. The reason why is because your record label has a different function outside of just collecting royalties and publishing. Your record company is going to be working in marketing and promo, and of course accounting, and everything else, from signing, A&R, and all of the creative process from all the different divisions that you'll have at your label. Whereas your publishing company is where your songs that you will be owning, if you're doing co-pub deals with your artists, that those songs would live there. And so you want to make sure that is a separate entity. So just as you got an articles of incorporation, LLC, for your record label, you also need to do the same for your publishing company. And then from there, you just simply need to go to the irs.gov and get your tax ID, because you're going to need that in order to create a publisher account with ASCAP or BMI, or both. But if you do sign up with ASCAP and BMI, you won't be able to use the same the same publishing company name. So just make sure that you can use the same tax ID, but make sure that you select that the other company is a division of the main company, and just change the name slightly. The process of PROs and signing up and joining, I've talked about that several times, but if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tammy Luttrell, I kind of break down the differences between ASCAP and BMI. They've changed their fees over the last year or so it's a lot more inexpensive to sign up with them, but you do, as a record company, want to be signed up with both, And the reason why is because you may have artists that are signed who are your writers, also, like they're writing their own songs, but you also may have artists who are not writing their own songs. They wouldn't necessarily get publishing, but the writers who wrote their songs, you would still be responsible for just making sure that their mechanicals are being issued or registered in some form when you're receiving money to your digital distribution channels, and you just want to make sure you have that information. You'll also be able to, for the artists who are writing their own material. So if you have a rapper or you have a singer on your label and they're writing their own songs, most likely you'll get a percentage of the publishing if you have, that in your agreements. And so that is going to be a part of what you will collect. But one of them may be signed with ASCAP and one of them may be signed with BMI. You still need to be able to collect wherever your writers or your artists go. So that's the spill on that. I hope that answered your question. Is Sound Exchange retroactive? Yes. You can. Remember, the statute of limitations goes back 3 years. So you have 3 years to go after those retroactive royalties. If the songs are not generating anything and it's been past 3 years, there may not be anything that you have the right to collect. Okay. It may not be anything to collect, actually. Oh, my baby is in the room. Hey, Makai. She's gone for summer break. Oh, my God. Y'all, I've been so emotional this week. Every time she leaves, I'm just like, I gotta readjust. But I know she needs to be with her dad, and it's the summertime, so have fun, baby. All right. What advice can you give for producers, as it is hard for us to get placements to start with? Well. I would say something that I always say is that you have to really, really think about the fact that this business is a marathon, and there are going to be sacrifices in time and just so much creativity and work and effort, a lot of sweat equity that you will put into your music, that you will put into the songs that you build with other creators and collaborators. And you have to be accountable, of course, for all of that, but you still have to know that it's a lot of things that you're not in control of. The only thing I can say that you are in control of is, for one, am I mastering my craft? Is what I'm creating actually good? Do people actually like it? In addition to that, am I able to build solid relationships with people, or am I just at home in my room making beats all day expecting for them to magically get placed? Same with songwriters. Are you actually writing every day, building catalog, and are you shopping your songs? Are you meeting with people who are looking for work? Are you, emailing, DMing, and approaching them in a professional way? The reason why I say that is because so many times I've gotten DM messages I could show you if I could flip my screen over, from people that I don't even know who you are. And the first thing that you say to me is not, hey, how you doing? I'm a follower, or I ran across your page, or my name is such and such. I live in Cali, or I'm from here, I'm from there. I'm a producer. They don't say any of that. They just say, let's work, or holla at me, or I got that work for you, or, just something that makes me be like, okay. I promise y'all, I'm not the only person that gets that. And I promise you, I'm not the only person that probably looks at it and is like, for one, because I can't take you serious if you don't know how to approach me. This is business. It's not personal. So don't approach me personally. Approach me, like you would want someone to approach you in business. Hi, how are you? My name is, I work here, or I do this, or I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter, and I'm interested in finding out ways or opportunities. If you have them on collaboration, I would love to send you a beat pack, or I would love to send you a folder, or I would love to send you some links to my work, or this is who I've produced for, this is who I've written for, this is what I'm currently working on. It's nothing wrong with having real conversation with people. As a matter of fact, you may warm up to people who may not have spoken to you otherwise. And so I just always say that in this business, you have to be willing to make the sacrifice, not only on the creative side to create good music and to, put in give your best, give your all to what you're doing. But on the business side, you have to put that hat on and be professional. Otherwise, especially in this time of day, you may want to reconsider if you're not willing to do that. And so from a placement standpoint, networking, finding A&Rs who are working on projects, finding artists and contacting their managers in a professional way will really get you far. Finding artists that are locally bubbling up, that have, some local traction, and really connecting with them or their team, whoever is helping with their project. And also even collaborating with other producers. Just because you produce don't mean you can't co-produce with someone else. I've seen that so many times where on one hand, two producers have gotten together, they put their egos aside to the side, and they are really just trying to use the resources. One may be good at just, beat programming. Another one may be good at the keys. Next thing you know, you have a full composition, and, it lands somewhere. And they also have, other songwriters. This person may not be as well known with writers, but this person does, and it just comes together and makes a solid project. But I've also seen on other instances where some songwriters or producers just have, ego issues and don't want to collab, or maybe when they collab, they take over the project and no one feels comfortable like they want to really collaborate with them anymore. And so I would say try to co-collab and understand that there's a science to that also, to network and look for opportunities on the placement side. And then the last thing, find your own artists and do your own placements. Like, just because you're a producer doesn't mean you have to look for an opportunity for someone to place your music. You can place and put your own self on. Shout out to LaShawn Daniels. Thank you. You here. He had a conference last year called I Put Me On. Put your own self on. You have the resources. If you want to go distribute your music right now, you can go to DistroKid, you can go to TuneCore, you can go to CD Baby. As long as you have your songs registered with BMI or ASCAP, and whoever the writers are, of course you would probably be the producer or the songwriter, and you have a dope artist, like, put your own stuff out. But now you're turning and transforming into an entity, an actual record label, so it's a possibility, you're gonna need to get some help and get a team. But all I'm saying is, don't just sit around waiting and looking for someone to help you. Empower yourself. I do these things free. I do these lives free every Friday. And I give away so much game, but a lot of this stuff is free for you guys to pull up on Google and do your research. And so it's not just about what people can do for you, but what can you do for yourself? And that's all I'm saying. So I hope that answers your question. If you need me to recap, network, make sure you have good product, collaborate with people, watch your approach when you're doing business with people, making sure you approach them professionally so they can take you serious, and put yourself on. Don't be afraid to do something that you've never done before. Find a dope artist, dope rapper, dope singer. Maybe somebody is in development with you that you could get behind and put out yourself, and then start investing in yourself and start investing in your money. You invest in your equipment, invest in the project, invest in the studio time, or buy your own equipment at home so you can record at the studio too and not just make beats at home. Have your own studio set up. So I can go on and on, but y'all know what it is. I don't want to go on a rant. I just be so passionate, man. Like, man, we got to get it, man. This is this time. Somebody said, I'm sorry, I meant trademarking your artist name. Yeah, you want to trademark your artist name if you're going to be making money off of it. Absolutely. You're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. I copyrighted my first batch of sound recordings with the Library of Congress. It was really easy. Awesome. Congrats. All right. Yeah, they have a lot of options, but it's detailed. Yes, it is detailed. You must be talking about Sound Exchange. What is the best? Is it best to file my publishing company as an LLC? Absolutely. You can be the sole owner, and it would be a single member LLC. All right. There's videos on how to sign up for Sound Exchange on YouTube. It helps him a lot. Absolutely. Do your due diligence and research. All right. What's the best way to brand yourself as a songwriter? If I click on your picture right now, boop, and I go to your page, and I don't see anything about you singing or as a songwriter or writing songs, I don't see anything that shows me that you are a songwriter, that would be the first thing I would look at if I'm from the outside looking in on whether or not I'll take you serious, spend money with you, or ask you to write a song for me. But if I go to your page and I see that you are in the studio, or you're actually, doing maybe some live freestyles, or you like showcasing your songs, maybe uploading some audio and playing it, to where we can hear like a snippet of what you have going on, and it sounds good, and you're getting a lot of, activity from it, people are liking and commenting, then that is different. I may look at it like, man, you know what, I'm looking for a record, and her stuff sounds good, and it actually fits the sound I'm looking for, and I may need her to write a song for my artist, or, so you just have to brand yourself by putting yourself out there. Social media is free, unless you start spending ad money, But also, I was telling my team about soundbetter.com. SoundBetter is a place for creators where you can go and meet other producers and songwriters, but you can also create a page, like a one-pager, like MySpace kind of, without all of the coding and all the crazy little, stuff we used to be able to do on MySpace, and like, have like little hearts, floating around and stuff. It's not super animated like that at all. It's very basic, but it allows you to put a description of who you are, your bio. It allows you to upload some of your songs, as well as, just giving your rates and how you want the process to go when people inquire about your services. I would say if you are a new songwriter and you're trying to get on SoundBetter to shop your songs, I think you should definitely start low, because you got to think about the amount of competition that's on the site. But if your work is good, you can eventually start getting more clients who are booking you, and next thing you know, you can start raising your prices, or maybe even offering specials. And so I know quite a few of my songwriter friends who are doing quite well from soundbetter.com. So by all means, if you are trying to brand yourself, that is another outlet. Another outlet would be YouTube, uploading your music there, and maybe just like the producers do the type beat, maybe you do a type song, but you just want to make sure that your producer is okay with you doing something that way, because as you know, it's generating streams, and you guys may want to register just so you can collect off of it if it happens to pop, because some songwriters are not even trying to be artists, but their songs get leaked, and next thing you know, it goes viral, and then boom, you got a song on the radio, or you got a song streaming that is taking off on social media, that's now streaming crazy, doing crazy numbers. So I would just say, brand yourself by putting yourself out there. And you definitely want to be presentable. You definitely want to be professional, and you want to be fun and have some charisma and personality. I think all of that matters, because, people want to be a part of great things, and they want to work with great people. So, just do your best. Let your light shine from within, be super creative, but also have fun while doing it. And I guarantee you, you definitely shouldn't have a problem with branding yourself and, gaining more followers and gaining more business from it too. Another thing I would say is also get you a manager. You know someone who is in a circuit of knowing a lot of artists that are looking for material, or maybe, they have relationships. It would probably be a great idea to get someone to help you with shopping your songs, who believes in you. Number one, they need to believe in you, because if they don't, you can't guarantee that they're going to give you the best that they have, and they're going to put in their best effort to get you, the recognition or the support that you need if you're trying to sell your material. So I would just say, get out there, put yourself out there. Don't be shy. But if you are a songwriter, then when I click on your page, and I'll go right after this, I need to see that you are writing songs. I need to hear some stuff. I want to see it. I want to be able to take you serious. Okay? Your nails look really nice. Thank you. I felt so good. Okay, guys, let me tell you guys something. We've been quarantined for a while, but it felt so good just to sit there. And I'm looking at my nail tech, Wayne. Shout out to Wayne, Nail First, on Piedmont and Sydney Marcus. He is everything over at Nail First. And he had his shield on, and of course they sanitized us when we came in, and we had to wipe and, make sure everything was straight. But I felt safe. It was only like 4 people in there. And, we had a good time. Just, I'm allowing myself to just sit there and get pampered for a change. So I loved it. Thank you for the compliment. All right, let's see. Question. Okay, this is my girl Danny. Hey, Danny girl. Is it standard for an indie label to take a percentage of both pub and royalties from an artist, and what's a fair percentage? But yes, it is pretty standard. The reason why is because the label needs to be able to recoup from what they've invested, and so usually they'll do a co-pub deal with their artist. And then, of course, they'll take a percentage on the sound recording side as well, which is why the artist usually gets between 12 to 17 points per project. But these days, things have changed so much on the digital landscape that you can always renegotiate or negotiate something that's fair, because sometimes artists are actually invested in their projects with their co-partner, who just happens to be someone that they form a label with. So you just want to find, an attorney, someone that can kind of help you, that is a little bit more up to par with how deals are done this day and age, because what we would do typically, a couple of years back, before there was not a couple of years, actually over 10 years now, before we had streaming as a part of the main royalty source, those contracts look a bit different. But yes, it is standard that they get a percentage of the publishing, to be able, against the sound recording, to be able to distribute, because they have to have rights to be able to distribute it anyway, and that gives them that right once they own the master. And so they also can get they also can get publishing from doing a co-pub deal with their artists. So they're eating on both sides. Okay. All right, going to conferences is great to network and connect with people. It is. The issue right now is that we don't really know when we're going to have conferences. I mean, so many conferences got canceled. Music Biz got canceled this week. Like, yeah, we have to be very creative and innovative, and just try different things now. For right now, this is the new normal. So how we networked back then may not be able. We may not be able to do that now. For, I would say, at least the next maybe year or so. Just be very, very flexible, and really stay on top of the things that are important to you, because there's so much going on social media right now. It can overwhelm you and you can get lost in the sauce, but definitely follow even the conferences that you were planning to attend, or that you would normally attend, or that you would normally know about. Still follow them, because they may do online conferences. I know a lot of people have just taken everything online now, to where you can hop in a room and you're learning about this, and hop in another room and you're learning about that. So definitely utilize those opportunities to network. All right. Organic relationships are helpful. Yes, they are. A lot of collabs these days. Yes. All right. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, I see a lot of waves. What's up, y'all? Waving back, waving back. Yes, so glad I met up. Great information. Awesome, awesome. Family and business, yes. What's up, Century? I'm just trying to say hey to everybody. Hey, what's up, Darrell? All right, next question. If I pitch a hook to a rapper, should I charge an upfront fee or ask them for a swishy? You should do both. You should do both. You know why? Because if you are writing a hook and they decide to move forward with it, they need to pay you as a service for actually writing the song, writing the hook. And then also they need to pay you on the back end when the song releases. You need to get a percentage of your publishing. And I talked about splits my last live. So go back to my last live, and I think it was the actual split scenarios. Watch that video on YouTube, and I kind of break down what your splits would be for like a hook or a verse, just so you can kind of know what to ask for and what to try to negotiate for. But if you are writing a hook, you should get a service fee for that. That's a service that you performed, and as the owner of that composition, that portion of the hook that you wrote, of the song that you wrote, you should also get royalties from that as well. Your publishing. How much do songwriters usually charge, or how much should I expect to pay if I went that route? I always say it just depends on, the success and popularity of a songwriter, and in relationships and whatever you can negotiate. Obviously if you are trying to bring in a songwriter who is well established, that has been writing songs for years, is considered a veteran, and you're trying to go to them, you need to have a pretty substantial budget, because that is a service that they have mastered, and it should be respected as such. If they are an up and coming songwriter and they may not necessarily, have as many placements, but they're really good at what they do, and you could see that there's potential there. Obviously, if you're trying to pay them, and book them to provide that service, then there's something good about it. I would try to, stay within a range that works for you, and you guys negotiate. But I absolutely believe that, that paying the price or paying that fee should, depend on those factors. How popular, how much are they worth? Because I do believe in paying people what they are worth. The work just comes out that much better, All right. If you've already released a song as an artist, do you automatically lose your right to negotiate a fee if a label or artist wants to cover the song? You release a song as an artist, do you automatically lose your right to negotiate a fee if a label or artist wants to cover the song? No. If you release the song as an artist, that depends on what your rights are as the copyright holder. Because if you wrote the song, or if you were the indie label that put the song out, you have different copyrights that allow you to be able to have someone cover your work, distribute your work, the ability to license it if you need to, the ability to be able to make money in several different ways, even negotiations, because you are the rightful owner. And so I think we probably need to kind of figure out, if you are the artist, are you owning a percentage of it? Because the only way you would lose that right to negotiate a fee is if you don't own anything. So if you do own it, then you always have the right to be able to negotiate. Okay? Especially if they haven't even covered the song yet, then you haven't lost your opportunity. All right? If I charge an upfront fee as a writer, can I still get a cut on the swishies? Absolutely. I just answered that question. All right, trying to drop this dope single. All right, called Fear. Okay, do it. No fear. Do it. All right, next question. What's the best way to brand yourself? I answered that already. Hey. Waving. Hi, y'all. What's the steps for someone to become a paid songwriter? I think I just covered that. Do great work and continue to build your catalog. It's not going to happen overnight. For every 100 song these days, because it's oversaturated, for every 1,000 song you may get a placement. So if you're trying to really be in this business, definitely allow the other outside resources to help you, like networking and really aligning yourself with people who are already working and have things going on as well. Love the content you've been sharing, watching you for years. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I never take these opportunities for granted. All right, next question. You mentioned PRO and producer credit on a post earlier today. Was the post meant to mean that the artist didn't get credit because he or she didn't register the song before sending it to the artist? No, that's not what it meant. I'm glad you asked that for anyone who may also have that same issue or, may have had the same interpretation. There was a tweet where someone had shouted out Jay White did it, who produced... what did he produce for the Cardi B's record, Bodak Yellow? Shout out to Jay White did it. You lit. And Savage. He produced Savage too. Shout out to Jay White. You lit. All right. So someone shouted him out and was just basically saying, why is it so hard to find credits from songwriters and producers on streaming platforms? So like basically back in the day, we used to have a CD. We had, the whole CD cover with the multiple, pockets, and you could open them up and it's like 3 or 4 different layers, and you're just flipping through pages and looking at every single composer, every single arranger, songwriter, producer, executive producer, any other musicians. They had everything on there, from even like whoever designed the actual graphic itself that the CD cover art was looked like. And so all of that information would usually be in the credits, in the cover art. Well, we don't have that anymore. Digital sites, streaming sites have been putting up our catalogs that we have contributed to as songwriters and producers, that the labels have licensed them to release so that the fans can stream their favorite artist's music. No problem with that at all. I get it. We're in a new era of how we stream and consume music. But what really hurts us as music creators in this community is that we are losing a bit of our history and integrity when we are not given credit for our work. You know, if I were to pull out a vinyl right now and flip it over, I can see all of the producers and songwriters and music creators and everyone who was involved on that project, and that's what makes it feel like, wow, everyone got together. It makes it feel like a completed project. You know, we got together, we did this project, these are the people involved, and look at what we've created. But as a community, we have lost that, because now you just can see albums completely on streaming sites, jam them and listen to them and stream them. But when you go to the song that you are listening to and you may think like, man, I wonder who produced this. Man, I love this song. I love these lyrics. Let me see who wrote this. Not all streaming sites are giving us credit. Two things here. One, the responsibility is on the artist. The songwriter, and the responsibility is on the record label. Okay? Those two people have to work together some way, somehow, whether the record label has assigned an A&R to the project to collect the information from the songwriter and then turn it in to whoever is handling their administration. That's then going to get it over to the distribution company, TuneCore, DistroKid, CD Baby, to then make sure that that information is entered in. Now, from what I remember, DistroKid allows you to be able to put in a lot of credits. It also allows you to distribute out and pay out royalties to those composers right from that digital hub. CD Baby, I'm not sure if they do. If someone knows, drop it in here if they do. But TuneCore, I think, recently has allowed you now to be able to list the composers on the project. And I don't know if they pay out, though. I think you can put the composers in, but you can't pay out. But that information, that data, is called metadata. And if that information is not put in and connected to the ISRC when the song releases, it's a very strong possibility that it's not going to be on the streaming platforms once it hits your Spotify, your Tidal, and your Napster, and your, what's the other one, Rhapsody, and I can go on and on. There's so many streaming companies out there streaming catalogs. And so, you know, I just think we have to do a better job. As songwriters and producers, we have to have our PROs readily available, our PRO IPI numbers readily available, and don't have a problem with giving it out. You know, if you contributed to a song at the end of the session, whether or not y'all have determined what the splits are and you haven't or had that discussion, there needs to be an email that's followed through if you have not had that discussion about splits and ownership. And you need to also list your PRO information. Hey, this is such and such. Man, great session tonight. Here's my PRO information, my IPI as well. I'm with BMI. This is my IPI number. And, you know, I'm proposing a 25% split, or I'm proposing a 12% split. Start the conversation and send it to the person that will actually be handling the paperwork. If you don't know that, ask the question. So who's going to be over the project? Who do I send my information to so that I can make sure that you guys have it should the song get placed? Because the issue is, a lot of us are not taking care of our business. We're just trying to get an opportunity, but we're not registered with the PRO. We haven't done our due diligence to set up our publishing company. We haven't done what we needed to do to make sure that if my song gets placed, that I have my business together. And I even had one guy, I'm working on clearing some songs for one of my writers, and I had to send an email to his manager because he didn't want to give out his PRO information. I'm like, dude, we're trying to make sure you get paid. We don't have a guarantee all the time that when songs get put on hold, that means it's going to get placed. But all we do know is that, hey, this song has just came back as a notification that it is on hold. We are taking it out of our catalog and we're not shopping it anymore. However, your writer actually contributed to this work and we need his PRO information. The dude didn't want to give it to my writer. Why not? We're looking out for you. So it's just interesting how it all works, but creators, we got to do better. And then on the record label side, record labels have to also do a better job with making sure that before these projects are released, that y'all have an admin team, because you got the budget to hire one. And if you don't, holler at the Mezzo agency. If you don't have one internally, hire us. we will do our due diligence to make sure that the creators involved on this song before it releases, you have the splits, you have, their contact information, their email addresses. The artists, you have a responsibility to deliver that information. If you have relationships with the producers and the songwriters, make sure that you look out for them because they're helping your project sound good. Get their information. Make sure that you deliver it to your manager or whoever is handling and adminning your project. Okay? We all have to work collectively as a community to look out for each other, because each and every time a catalog is uploaded to a streaming site and credit is not being issued, that is history that's gone. Everybody does not get a Wikipedia page. But if I'm listening to music and I want to really see who wrote this song, it's so beautiful, it sounds good, the music is, man, I'm feeling it. I want to be able to click on credits and see your name. Do you understand? So let's all just think about that for a moment, how we as a music community collective, how we can work together and look out for each other. Artists have a responsibility to communicate and make sure they turn in. And 9 times out of 10, it's your manager that's doing all that because you're in your creative mode, and I get it. But I'm just saying, just don't let it slip your mind to make sure that the songs that you have chosen, that your songwriters and producers credits are issued. And then also songwriters and producers, have your stuff together. Have your PRO, your IPI number, communicate with whoever is working the record. If you get a hold notice on it, you should have already sent your information in, or you need to send it in ASAP. Don't have them waiting. Also, if you get your song placed, you need to also make sure that it's included in the agreement of what your credit would look like in the paperwork. There should be an area in the contract that your attorney should help put together. And this happens all the time, so this is not like something that's new. They will say, the producer should be listed or composer should be listed as, for his credits on the project. When the label gets that information, they take it, send it over to the administration team. The administration team logs that information and make sure that it's uploaded. Okay? So that, to answer your question, is what I was talking about. And I feel very strongly about it. Obviously, I just, spoke very passionately about it because I know what it feels like to have a song that I actually wrote that's up there, but my song is, my name's not on it because somebody didn't do their due diligence and turn it in. Or, they just uploaded it and was like, we'll take care of it later, or we'll handle that later. And it's just not cool. It's not cool. Even though the publisher may be done on the back end and it's already registered, cool. But people like their credit, so give them their credit. Split sheets. Can you order those online? What's the best approach? You can actually, spreadsheets. I don't know if you're talking about split sheets, but with split sheets, you can go directly to my website, tammyluttrell.com. You can click on download a split sheet, enter in your email address, and you will get access to a split sheet once you log into the VIP Writers Club. You can download it directly to your phone or to your computer. It is a fillable split sheet, so you can actually fill it out and type in there. If you don't like that template, I'm pretty sure you can Google free split sheets and find a free split sheet. You should not pay for a split sheet. It's completely free. I'm actually holding a course very soon on how to fill it out, though, so I hope you guys tune in. All right. If a songwriter does a type song track similar to a type beat, do you think that would take away the writer's originality? No, because if you are writing a song for a particular type of artist, you're not taking away originality because it's still your song. It is just written with the tone and the vibe of what an artist that you're pitching to would actually do, what would cover. So basically what I would do, to give you an example, I would get a demo singer. If I'm trying to write a song and I end up listening to it, I'm like, this song may be dope for like a, let me pull somebody out the hat, somebody who is like a Queen Naja, right? She's very soulful, and I'm only, using her because one of my producers has had great success producing for her project. If I know that I have a song that I wrote that sounds like something she would like, the first thing I would do is I would go find a singer who sounds like her, and then I would actually upload a portion of that song. I wouldn't do the entire song, but I would do a portion of that song that actually shows my lyrical ability, that shows, the range, the structure, all of that, to showcase who I am as a writer, and All copyrights are reserved because it is your song, but like I said, make sure that the producer who produced the track is aware that that is how you're exposing the song. Now, I'm not saying that that is what you should do. I'm giving you options on how to brand yourself, how to put yourself out there as a songwriter, and it's just an idea. You can also put in the information if you're interested in a song like this. Contact me. This is my information, or call my manager, book my manager, contact us here, email us here, but what I'm saying is you just have to find other creative ways. There is like no formula to this anymore. The world has changed. All of the old stuff is gone. You have to be creative and find new ways to get yourself out there. And that's all I'm saying. Just like the producers are doing these tight beats and they're getting some flack about it, but some of them are getting really good exposure from it, because you have some people who just really want to buy quality beats and they don't have a budget to afford these big producer prices. And so you have a lot of producers making money off of that. So why can't the songwriters play along too? You just have to, of course, let the let the producers know who you actually wrote the song with, that, hey, this is what I want to do. Is it okay if we go ahead and shop it this way? Because you may have other options. That may not be the only option. Okay? So I don't think it'll take away from your originality at all. It actually showcases. You're not trying to be like somebody else. You're more so finding a demo singer who can sound like who you're trying to pitch for. All right. After having a couple songs written, what would you say is the next step in putting your work out as a songwriter? Again, networking. And once I post this video on my page, go back and look. You may have joined later after I talked about it, but I just kind of laid out what you should do as a songwriter. I also think you should make sure you have your business in order, because you can have all these songs and nothing's registered and something ends up getting placed and you got to go back and like play catch up. So I actually did an interview yesterday with the Jamboree. Dope interview. I'm going to post it tomorrow. And it's on my YouTube channel if you guys can't wait, but I'll post it tomorrow. And I explained like the 5 things that every songwriter should have. And that one thing is you need to make sure that you sign up and create your LLC, your tax ID for your publishing company. You need to sign up with the PRO. You need to register your songs. You also need to network. And you do those 5 things. And by networking, I'm meaning online, when we do start being able to really go out and start networking that way. But for right now, a lot of stuff is done online, building relationships, collaborations, all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's very imperative that you guys find new ways to get what it is done. But please be about your business in this day and age. Again, times have changed. It is not how it used to be. Please be creative, but always be professional and protect your work. All right. Next question. So he got paid. We just had to hunt for him. Okay. I don't know what that is. If you write a song as a service and charge a fee, what would be the best way to organize the splits if the song has not yet been produced? Well, you already know that half of the song goes to production, so that'll be 50%, right? So you only have 50% as a writer to work with of the writer's side, the writer's share. So if you wrote that song and it's just you and you don't yet have a producer to actually make the music, then you would take that 50. But if you co-wrote the song with another songwriter and it's just you and that other songwriter that's coming up with the idea and you just haven't gotten with the producer yet, then y'all split that 25-25. Okay. All right, next question. Thank you, guys. Contract for hire personnel, do you still have to list them on your project? Like work for hires? No. It all depends though, because you can actually negotiate your work for hire to be whatever it is that you want. I know some people that once they pay you for work for hire, it's kind of like, thank you for the service, here's your fee, everything's mine. But then you also may have a work for hire where they may say, well, you know what, I'll pay you a fee and I'll give you credit. It's all about what you negotiate. But you absolutely, if you're paying for a service and you're getting a work for hire, you can pretty much pay for what you want and get them to sign off on it, and everything is yours. So it's just up to you and the person you're doing business with on what they negotiate. If you copyright a song and pitch it, once it gets placed, does the copyright have to be rewritten? Yes, it will be. The copyright will then, once they purchase the song, they're gonna purchase the sound recording. Ultimately, once it's finalized and done by the artist, once that records it, and then they will reissue a newer copyright that will be updated with their information as the owner of the master. So that's what happens. That's why they pay for the masters by buying, the full sound recording and track from the producer. So you still can be listed and have a percentage of the copyright as the composition owner, but from the sound recording side, it will go to the label. What's the Mezzo agency looking for in songwriters? Man, very good talent, work ethic. I want to come find you. I want to be like, yo, who is this guy, or who is this girl? I don't mind people sending me records and sending me songs, and I do take the time to listen to them. I also have a great team that loves music, that listens to our catalog. Adrian, she's building our media library right now. She's doing a phenomenal job. Rico, he's been a long time supporter of music and just a dear friend of mine, but definitely good at what he does with A&Ring. And, we go through our catalogs. We listen to songs every day, every night. Like, I'm a fan of my writer's work, and that is huge because at the end of the day, I'm still consulting with them and developing them in ways, but they are very independent. They're very incredibly talented. And when I say independent, I mean like they have their own setup. If I send a request to them and say, hey, I just got this license request in, sync request in, this is what I need, this is when it's due, they stick to those deadlines and they get busy. They get to it. They collaborate. They work together. We have a running spreadsheet. They contact each other. Hey, I'm working on this. What you working on? So it's a whole community. And a lot of that is because that's the culture I was raised in, being signed to Sony ATV, which was EMI back then. Big John, when he signed us, he didn't babysit us. If this is what you're trying to do, then get to it. And so that's all I'm saying. To be a successful songwriter, whether you're with my agency or not, you really need to be able to turn it up and really show people that you are capable of delivering quality records. And you also need to be networking and just knowing how to, penetrate those circles and really build relationships that will allow you to get in the room, or allow your song to at least be in the room, so people can say, who is that? Who wrote that? Who produced that? And so I would say that's very, very important. Be independent, have great work ethic, be professional, do good music. Oh my God, do great music, because you can't lose. You can't lose. How can we hear what your songwriters have to offer? Is there a website with samples of their work? We have a media library I would love to share with you if you send me a professional email at tammy@mezzoagency.com and just let me know what you're looking for. I would love to be able to put together a package for you and have Adrian send you over an email so you can hear some of our work that we're working on right now. All right, guys. Well, it is 2 minutes into closing, so I'm gonna try to wrap up as quickly as I can. I want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. It has been a hell of a week creatively for me, because I've been working I still songwrite though, as well as run a company. So I've been working on some creative stuff with my team, as well as being a mom, and got my daughter shipped off to summer break in Houston for the summer. So I just want to tell you, each and every one of you, thank you guys. It means a lot to me that you are serious about your craft. And I hope that you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. If you have any other questions or you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, please log on to tammylatrell.com. Go to the shop button, or I think it's on the homepage. You can also book a consultation there to take you to consultations. Book the time with me so we can have that one-on-one and I can really assess what you need and where you are. I also do song critiques as well. And if you are interested in becoming a member of the VIP club to have access to some of the free resources that I share, not just here, but also in our Facebook group and in our private hub where you can get your code and log in and see all the great stuff that I have to offer, definitely go to tammylatrell.com, sign up for the VIP, or you can click the link in my bio. and join there as well. All right. Also, stay tuned. Tomorrow, I will be posting my interview from the Jamboree. It was so much fun, and I had a great time. And anytime I'm on a panel with all women, y'all know I am like all about the queens. Represent. So I just always have a great time talking to other women who are also in the business and that are just really interested in how we're really making moves in the entertainment industry. So I will post that on tomorrow. I'm going to take it in for the night. It is a new moon. I'm actually going to be talking to God and praying and really, really setting my intentions for the next week. And I love you all, and I will see you soon. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.